Hi guys, wagwan. What you say, my peeps? Hi guys, Dr. Drwendydearborne in the house. How goes it with you? What's new in your world? Well guys, welcome to another episode of You and the Laws of Attraction. That's right, You and the Laws of Attraction. Well, today is, what is today? Today is Thursday, the 6th of April, 2023, and the hour is 7:30 a.m. Well, guys, we are 4 months into the year already, 2023. Happy Easter for everybody who celebrates Easter, for people who've celebrated Passover, the whole 9 yards. Happy everything to you. So guys, today's show is called the Internal Tug of War. The Internal Tug of War. And guys, that's serious. That the struggle there can be really real. The struggle, the to-in and the fro-in, the back and the forth, the pulling and the tugging and the this, that struggle can be real. But before we get into that, before we get into the show, who am I? Yeah, I was having a moment there. Who am I and what do I do? Well, my name's Dr. Drwendydearborne, and I am a choice and laws of attraction expert, if you will. And what does that mean? As I'll deal with the laws of attraction piece first. I help you, or I support you in having a greater understanding of the universal laws, that's plural, not singular, laws of attraction. It's really important to know that the law of attraction is made up of multiple laws, not just one law. The law of attraction is made up of multiple laws that actually stand alone. And that if you don't invoke these laws and you aren't, you're not actually doing what you're meant to be doing, so the laws can do what they need to do, the law of attraction won't ultimately work for you, or it won't work consistently for you. So that being said, I support people in having a greater understanding of the universal laws, plural, of attraction, and then how to use them. Choices. Whoo! Lord, choices. As a choice expert, what I really do is I support people in finding clarity around what it is that they want to do for their life, what it is that they want to manifest in their life. I support people in finding their authentic truth so that they can make authentic choices. And this is what I do. It's vitally important to recognize that your life, my life, our lives, everybody's life, is predicated and or built upon the choices that we make. And these choices can be conscious choices and unconscious choices. Yes, guys, unconscious choices. Your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind, or whatever term you want to use, your superconscious, whatever works for you, is always working on your behalf. This is why things will happen to you, and you will say, I don't know why this happened to me. I don't know how this happened to me because I didn't choose this. Yes, in some shape or form, something that you did activated a choice mechanism, activated the universal laws of attraction, something that you did. And many people are living their lives unconsciously to the fact that things are happening and they're like, this, I don't get it. I don't understand. Choice is everything. The choices that you make today are the building blocks for your life tomorrow. So make sure that you are choosing what it is that you want today with authenticity, with truth, desire. Make sure that you understand that your thoughts are creating the world that you live in. So guys, use the power of your conscious mind to create the life that you want to live through the power of authentic choice. And that's what I do, guys. That was a mouthful, wasn't it? That's what I do. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about the internal tug of war. Also, guys, when you hear this, yeah, it's a little out of tune or whatever. But when you hear the bell, I'll ring that bell when I actually feel that I'm saying something that is really pertinent to me. Oh, actually, and while I say that, while we are on this subject of what's pertinent to me, please understand that anything that I say on my podcast, anything that you see on any of the content that I have out there in social media, on my website, the laws of attraction in action.com, anything like that, please understand that this is my experience and it's coming from my perspective. It's really important that you do your own due diligence. I'm here to share my perspective. And once again, it's important that you do your own due diligence. Right, so every time you hear the bell, I'm going to say something that I think's pertinent. And that being said, Wendy, let's get to it. The internal tug of war. Guys, that struggle is real. That struggle is real. I want to share a little story with you. You know, my brother came out to visit recently. It was my husband's birthday, and so my brother came out with his wife to surprise my hubby. And we were sitting around. Actually, we were in the kitchen, to be honest with you. And we were sitting and we were talking. And I sort of said to him, I can't believe that the 10th of May, Pops will have gone like 4 years. It's been like it's in warp speed. Yeah, we've had COVID, we've had this, but it's been like warp speed, 4 years already. And during the conversation, one of the things that I had said to him is that particularly in Western cultures, we have this kind of warped perception about death. Now, death is a natural process, and believe me, you're going to experience it, as in losing loved ones, and experience it as making the transition yourself. It's a natural process. That being said, it doesn't actually take away from the pain. It doesn't take away from the agony, the sense of loss, the void that can be created in your life. It doesn't take away from that just because it's a natural process. It being a natural process actually can bring understanding, but that's a show all to itself. That's another show. So anyway, one of the things that I had said to him while we were talking, I was like, Pen, when my clients have had a loss, and for me it doesn't matter who the loss of whom, and or how, it's a loss. One of the things, there are 3 things that I say to them, and let me just do this here now. Okay, there are 3 things that I say to them. Number 1 is this: an intimate story. And what I mean by intimate, an up close and personal story. A story that you have with that person that is just about you. It's not about any other siblings. It's not about any other relatives. It's just about you and this person. And that story is something that made you laugh, Made you laugh until you nearly peed your pants. Made you laugh until you had a stitch in your side. You couldn't catch your breath. You were crying doubled over, laughing so hard. Something that made you laugh. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that the person found it funny too. The person who made their transition. Because ultimately, this isn't about them. This is about you. So it's something that made you laugh. And I mean that hard laugh. Like I said, you're crying, you're laughing so hard, you can't catch your breath. Number 2, the wisdom that this person has told you. A wise thing that this person has told you that you've been able to apply to your life and to support you as you move through life, or that you know will support you as you move through life. Yeah? And 3, what did they teach you that you can teach the world? What did they teach you that you can support the world in changing for a better place? What did they teach you? What have they taught you? And when I say change the world, each one reach one, each one teach one. I mean, exponentially, you touch one person, you've touched 1 billion people. Okay? And that's how I truly view that. So what have they taught you that you can continue to teach to your children, to people that you know, to strangers that you know, that can change the world? And so in that process, you know, my brother said to me, well, you know, Dad had told him, Dad had told him this story about 2 wolves. And I said, oh gosh, because for those of you who know me and have followed my work, my dad, he loved a good parable and he loved a good story that was a parable. He'd make up his own. I mean, it was like, oh goodness, Pops, really, really, but really had some wise things to say. But anyway, Penn said to me that it was a story of 2 wolves, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I know the story. Yes, I know the story. And so my father had told my brother this story many years ago. So I'm going to share this story with you. Many of you have heard it. There are many versions of it out there, but I'm going to tell you this one. There was a young man. It was a kid actually, and him and his friend had fallen out, and he felt that his friend had committed a huge injustice against him. Absolutely huge. A huge injustice. Actually, he was really incensed. To be honest with you, he was a little ticked. He's kind of pissed. So he went to his grandfather and he was telling his grandfather this whole story, telling him the story. And Granddad, patient and ever loving, said to him, you know, son, I've been where you've been. The little boy looked at him like, what? I've had those feelings. The intensity of being angry to the point of it could transform into hatred. I've been there, my son. I know what you're feeling. I know what you're feeling. So his grandfather said to him, come, sit by me. I want to tell you something. I want to share a little story with you. And it's about 2 wolves. So he said, my son, within us, we have a battle that is going on. Within us, there's a battle. And this battle involves 2 wolves. And these 2 wolves live inside of all of us. One is considered evil, and the other is considered good. The evil one is anger, resentment, injustice, jealousy, sorrow, regret, greed, mendaciousness, arrogance, cruelty, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and an overinflated ego. The other wolf that lives inside is peace. It's love, it's joy, it's harmony, it's hope, it's serenity, it's kindness, it's humility, it's benevolence, it's empathy, it's generosity, it's truth. It's compassion, it's faith, it's happiness. These are the two wolves that live within us. These are the two wolves that battle over many things. These are the two wolves that fight constantly. Grandson and grandfather were quiet for a moment. And the grandson looked at his grandfather and said, "Granddad, if there's a battle going on, which wolf wins?" His grandfather smiled and replied, "The one that you choose to feed." Now, this story has its roots all over the place. Yeah, there's a Chinese version, but I won't get into that. There's a Chinese version of the two wolves, but this story is a powerful story that really indicates the tug of war, the internal tug of war that goes on inside of people. The toing and the froing, the pulling and the jostling and the this and the that. You know, if I didn't say this earlier, you know, it's like the devil and the angel on your shoulder. You know, devil on your shoulder telling you to do this, angel telling you to do that. And it's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? Now, for those of you, tug of war, the tug of war, it's a contest. The literal tug of war is a contest between two teams or two people. And you have two teams or two people that are evenly yoked. They are evenly yoked at the opposite ends of a rope. And in the middle, the center point of the rope is where you need to tug the others over, or the other team, the opposing team, needs to be pulled over that particular line. The tug of war is, again, what we have going on. The tug of war is indicative of the internal dialogue that we have every day, and sometimes about minuscule things. People don't even realize this struggle is real. This struggle is real, right? And unlike the tug of war, the actual game that's played, you don't get to disqualify. There's no disqualification in this. It boils down to either a yes or a no. I don't know doesn't work. I don't know, or I'm not sure, or anything like that. That's not going to work. The tug of war will continue. You see, the tug of war inside of you is really designed for you to make a choice. And you really do make choices in your life and for your life. The tug of war within you is about invoking, if you will, the universal laws of attraction. The tug of war within you is about bringing what experience you want to experience into your life. And this is why you set up a tug of war. Now, there are things that happen to you, guys, and, you know, it's just like, are you doing so-and-so? No, I'm not doing that. When you know that you know. It's when you don't know that you know that you want to know and don't know. That's when a tug of war ensues. A tug of war comes up when you may be doing something that you don't want to do, but you feel duty bound to do it. But it's what society is doing. But your friends are doing it too. But this is what the fashionistas say are in fashion. But this is the in thing at the moment. A tug of war will ensue. A tug of war crops up within you, that internal dialogue, when you're not being your authentic self. And the irony is, unlike the game in which a rope, literally a rope, with a red marker on the ground and or on the rope, there's a marker on the ground and there's a red flag or red something attached to the rope. Inside of you, it's not like that. It's an invisible string. It's an invisible rope. Yet that rope is stronger than any other rope that could be made. And it's stronger than any other rope that can be made. Because, guys, this is about your life. The tug of war that goes on inside you is about making sure that you're sure that you know that you are making a choice. Now, note I didn't say the right choice. But it's about making sure you understand that you're making a choice. You see, guys, here we go. You see, guys, once you have made a choice, and it doesn't matter what the impetus was for the choice. It doesn't matter what the influence was for the choice. Once you've made a choice, it becomes yours. It becomes a part of your spiritual DNA, your emotional DNA, your mental DNA, and your physical DNA. It becomes a part of you. You own it. And you can never for eternity let it go. Once you have made a choice, it cannot be unmade. It's just like this. You cannot unhear this bell. You cannot unsee an image. What you can do is choose to say, I don't want to recall that. I don't want that mental recall. But again, it's a choice. You see, guys, once you have made a choice, like I said, it's bonded to you. It becomes a part of you. It assimilates into you. It's like food, guys. You eat food and it assimilates into your body. Choices do the same thing. So for me, it's all about making sure that you are very cognizant of that fact. That once you've made a choice, you own it. And the thing is, choices are like your words. Once you've said something, whether audibly or or within your mind, within the confines of your mind, Once you've said something and you back it up with an emotional feeling, because feeling is the key, I'm telling you. Once you back it up with feeling, feeling is like jet propulsion to your words. Feelings are like jet propulsion to your choices. It sends it out into the ethers. It sends it out into the ethos. It sends it out through the pranic energy. It sends it out so it can go to the point of creation and return to you. You see, guys, you are bonded to whatever it is that you choose to do. So I want to talk about something here, but I'm going to come back to that in just a hot second. What I'm saying is I am going to go a little bit off topic and not so concise. How about that? My choice. That's my choice. That's my choice. It's one of the reasons. Okay, no, I'll say it to you this way. Something that I learned early in life, very early in life, having had a near-death experience, is that everything that we do in life is choices. I arrived at that state because I was blaming everybody and everything for all the things that I considered to be horrendous in my life. I was blaming everybody and everything. I wasn't owning anything. I was just blaming everybody. The thing is, my word, I didn't realize the power of my words. I didn't realize the power of my thought. I didn't realize the power of emotions. I didn't realize the power of feelings. I didn't realize that the things that were truly in my heart, irrespective of the two-facedness that I was showing, the outer shell that I was showing, I didn't realize it was the inner things within my heart that were manifesting. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that because I didn't think anybody heard that other than me. I didn't realize that emotions and how you feel about something could be the jet rocket fuel that makes things happen. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that while I was smiling, but truly was having these hateful thoughts. I didn't realize it was the hateful thoughts that were going forth and coming back to me. You see, these are my choices. These are my words. And like you, your choices and your words, the things that you have within your heart, the things that you don't tell anybody about, but you're truly emotional about, these are the things that will manifest in your life. And you'll say, I don't understand why this is happening to me. I don't understand. When I would talk to the women at Shade Tree, and I bring this up constantly, but when I would talk to the women at Shade Tree, this is something that I would tell them. If you want something different in your life, and Shade Tree was a shelter for displaced women, abused women, children and pets. And what I would tell them is, if you want something different, not only do you have to choose it, but you have to stop that tug of war within your heart. Stop that dialogue going on within your heart where you say something outwardly, but you mean something totally different. If you want to stop being abused, and this goes to anything, guys, if you want to stop whatever it is that you want to stop, you need to stop with the internal dialogue that is creating it. One of the things that I tell people, and then I'll get back on point, I promise. One of the things that I tell people is that when you are wanting something, focus on that. Don't focus on what you don't want. Don't focus on what's already happened, because you can't unhappen it. Like I said with the bell, you can't unring it. You can't unhear it. You can't unsee it. You can't unchange it. That's not how that works. You see, life is about a forward momentum, and that's the only way you can go. The only way you can move is forward. So you take from that experience what you need to take, and you use it as a stepping stone. You use it for the wisdom that it has supplied you. You use it for the knowledge that it has given you. Even if that knowledge is, I never, ever, ever will have that experience again. Why? Because I'm focused on having this experience. You see, it supports you in finding clarity. And with clarity comes your ability to make choices in the best interest of self. And I'll just say this, and then I'll move back to where I was before. Making a choice in the best interest of self. And guys, I know you must ad nauseum. Look, I know I say this over and over and over again, but it's important. When you make a choice for self, never make a choice for self with the assumption that it's going to be popular with anybody and everybody. Popularity has absolutely no business in choice making. You see, that can derail you, that can sidetrack you, that can lead to making choices that aren't authentic. And this is what you want, authentic choices, because when you show up authentically, you give me permission to show up authentically. Now, whether or not I take that permission, whether or not I build on that for me is a choice. But you've done your bit. You've done your bit. One of the things that I did want to say in regard to the tug of war, once again, it supports you in getting clarity around the fact that you have made a choice. I'm not talking about whether the choice is right or wrong. I'm talking about for you to be able to consciously see that I am choosing X over Y. That's all it does. That's the job of the tug of war. And that's the God's honest truth. That's the job of the tug of war. Now, how you feel about the choice or how the choice manifests out for you, that's a whole nother ball game. The struggle with the tug of war is real. The struggle of the tug of war is real. And the fundamental thing, in addition to clarity of you recognizing I chose this, is also about accountability, ownership and responsibility. Any choice that you have made, you are accountable for it. Did I not say that you are bonded to it? It becomes a part of you. Again, like eating, you assimilate your choices. And then depending upon your belief system, when you leave this planet, when you leave this earth and go to wherever it is you feel you go, you take your choices with you. You can't eradicate them. You are your choice. When you look in the mirror, you are your choice. You are the summation of every choice that you have made. And if you don't like what you see, change your choices. Change the dialogue. Change the tug of war that you're having within your heart. Get clarity, guys. Get clarity. When you know what you want, that tug of war doesn't ensue. Because it's like, okay, Wendy, do you want a soda? No, thank you. I don't drink them. You know, Wendy, do you want a cup of tea? Oh, okay. All right, what kind of tea? Dreary, PG tips? No, I love me some PG tips. That's cold. Do I want regular tea or do I want herbal tea? Oh, I don't know what I want. And here we go. Tug of war ensues. And then the body, the mind starts bringing up everything that it's heard about tea, the tannin, the caffeine, the this and the that. Should I have a herbal tea? Is that better for me? And blah, 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 yada, 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 yada. Until eventually you make a choice. And that's all the tug of war wanted from you, to make a choice. The tug of war also facilitates, as I said, accountability. You're accountable for every choice that you make. The tug of war also facilitates ownership. Every choice that you make, you've owned it, right? Every choice. Every choice. And the tug of war makes you responsible. You see, when you own it, those three laws have been invoked. The universal law of accountability, the universal law of responsibility, and the universal law of ownership. And these are all universal laws, plural. The tug of war is about what you're going to choose to do. Which wolf are you going to feed? Are you going to feed the angry wolf? Or are you going to feed the calm wolf? What's really going on for you? See, I myself had viewed, the emotional tug of war that goes on inside of you when stuff's going on and, oh, I don't know what to do, and all the drama that goes with all this stuff, right? I had viewed it as, funny enough, what really popped into my mind just now was the rite of passage, right? You get to do that. You get to have the drama. But you know what? Ownership, accountability, and responsibility could care less about drama. The two wolves inside of you could care less about the drama. The universe around you could care less about the drama. Because the universal forces understand. I'll back it up this way. The universal forces, or the universe, known to me as God, cares less about the drama. What God is waiting on is for you to make a choice, because it's God's good pleasure. Come on, bring it, tell me, come on, to give you the desires of your heart. Tug of war on that. To give you the desires of your heart. And once again, I'm here, and I say this every show. I say this, but I'm okay with this. At one point, I wasn't, guys. I'm going to digress here ever so slightly, and we're getting ready to wrap up, actually. But I just keep saying the same thing over and over again, sometimes in a different way, over and over again. Oh my God. But this is who I am. I recognize that my purpose in life is to bring to you the understanding of the power of choice, the universal law of choice, or the universal law of free will. This is what I'm speaking of today. Free will, that's a universal law. Choice, that's a universal law. Actually, it's free will. Choice is about your free will. You see, guys, because at the end of the day, you have to answer for you. I can't answer for you. And I'm not talking about brimstone and fire, but for the things that you do, good or bad. There's a I was going to say a reckoning, but that brings up a different connotation. But you have to answer for you. You have to defend you. And so therefore only you can make choices for you. And here I go again. People have said to me, Christ can only intercede for you up until a certain point. And if you've read your scripture, you know this. Only up until a certain point. Thereafter, you have to answer for you, and you have to answer for the choices you made. You think that the universal creator, known to me as God, is interested that you made a choice to do this because somebody did that? No. What did you choose to do? You had that tug of war going on within you. Did you choose the evil wolf or did you choose the good wolf? That's all we need to know. Okay, so you chose the good wolf. Good for you, moving right along. Guys, the tug of war within you is real. Once again, it's imperative for me that you understand that the tug of war isn't about how you feel. Okay? It's not about how you feel. It's about what you choose to do. And then what you've chosen to do, it will ride on the coattails of that feeling to take it to the point of creation. The tug of war is real, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle. So, as my brother said to me, when I make decisions or when stuff's going on, and my word's not his, there's a internal tug of war. I take Dad's words and I'm like, okay, which wolf do I want to feed? So I'm going to leave you with that, guys, with whatever internal conflict you have going on. I'm going to make it real simple. Which wolf do you want to feed? The wolf that is in sheep's clothing, the wolf that is angry, the wolf that is cruel, the wolf that is jealous and envious and arrogant and regretful and resentment and judgmental and injustice. Which wolf do you want to feed? The wolf that is joy and peace and love and hope, serenity. The wolf that has humility. The wolf that is caring. The wolf that has kindness. The wolf that is empathetic. The wolf that has benevolence. The wolf that is generous. The wolf that doesn't lie. The wolf that is filled with compassion. Which wolf do you want to feed? Well, guys, you've been listening to an episode of You and the Laws of Attraction. Today, we have been talking about the internal tug of war. It's real. I'm Dr. Drwendydearborne, guys. Be sure to choose. Make sure that your choices are consciously made. And made in a way in which will support you in manifesting what you want. Don't focus on what you don't want. Focus on what you do want. Guys, focus on what you do want. Because in doing that, therein lies your happiness and your ability to actually manifest that which you say that you want. Thanks, guys, for spending time with me. I love you guys for it. I understand that time is precious. Time for me is the most precious commodity. Once you've spent that minute, you can't get it back. So choose wisely what you do this day. I'm Dr. Drwendydearborne. Until next time. Peace.